before, after, since, within.
전후 이래로 인해 소스, howtostudykorean.com.
Below is a list of vocabularies to be used in this lesson. Nouns.
설탕, 슈거 경찰관, 팔리수문 경찰서.
Police station.
구름 이퀄 클라우드 경쟁 이퀄 컴퍼티션 경쟁자 이퀄 컴페티터즈 피 이퀄 블러드 구두 이퀄.
Shoes, boots.
목욕 이퀄 베스 번호 이퀄 넘버 전화번호 이퀄.
Phone number.
열쇠 이퀄 키 수박 이퀄 워터멜론 과자 이퀄.
Candy, cookies, snacks.
양복 이퀄 수트 버브즈, 날다 이퀄.
To fly.
거치다.
To clear up, in weather.
구경하다.
To sightsee.
뒤처지다.
To fall behind.
앞지르다.
To pass, to overtake.
감독하다.
To supervise.
느끼다.
To feel.
치우다.
To erase, to remove, to wipe off.
두다.
To put, to set, to place something. Passive verbs.
느껴지다.
To be felt. Adjectives.
달다.
To be sweet.
깊다.
To be deep.
조용하다.
To be quiet.
뜨겁다.
To be hot.
차갑다.
To be cold.
친절하다.
To be nice. To be kind. Adverbs and other words.
전,
Before ago.
직전,
Just before.
후,
After later.
직후,
Right after.
이래, since 잠시,
A moment.
잠깐,
A short time.
이내 equal within introduction.
In Lesson 11, you learned a wide variety of different time words that you can use in sentences. In that lesson, I said that there were two more words that were very important when talking about time.
전,
And,
후,
in that lesson, I said that I would teach you those two words sometime later. Well, this is now later. In this lesson, you will learn how to use the words
전,
and,
후,
as well as some other similar words. Let's get started. Before ago.
전,
The word
전,
translates to before or ago depending on where it is used. When placed after any indication of time, 2 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 hours, 4 days, 3 weeks, 2 years, etc., it has the meaning of ago. For example, 2
초 전에, 2,
seconds ago 5
분 전에, 5,
minutes ago,
10시간 전에, 10,
hours ago 4
일 전에, 4,
days ago 3
주 전에, 3,
weeks ago 2
년 전에, 2,
years ago. I typically write the word instead of the numeral when referring to an hour. To see why, check out the lesson 10 and 11. Notice that
에,
gets added to
전,
because it is referring to a time. You can now use those words in sentences very intuitively.
저는 2주 전에 남동생을 만났어요.
I met my brother 2 weeks ago.
구름은 5분 전에 거쳤어요.
The clouds cleared up 5 minutes ago. When
전,
is placed after a verb, it translates to before. When you want to use
전,
like this, you must add
기,
to the verb stem of the preceding verb.
제가 먹기 전에,
Before I ate.
제가 가기 전에,
Before I go.
제가 오기 전에,
Before I come. A few very important things before I say anything else. There is a reason why
기,
is added to the stem of a verb. Adding
기,
to the stem of a verb is a topic I cover in detail in Lesson 29. Another thing, you can essentially add any sentence to the verb stem.
기 전에,
Grammatical form and it will have the meaning of before. This happened. You could say something like the country of Canada becomes a sovereign state.
기 전에,
And it would have the meaning of before Canada became a sovereign state. Of course, that is a terrible example because in English the verb doesn't come at the end of the sentence. You are now ready to create a clause sentences. Up to this point we have dealt with sentence having only one clause, meaning one subject, one object, and one predicating verb or adjective. To illustrate, in the following sentences subjects are colored red, objects are blue, and predicating verbs or adjectives are green. Adverbs and other parts of the sentences are not colored.
나는 너를 사랑해.
I love you.
아버지는 언제 왔어요?
When did Dad come?
저와 엄마는 밥을 같이 먹었어요.
Mom and I ate rice.
그 여자들은 예뻐요.
Those girls are pretty.
저는 똑똑한 여자들만 좋아해요.
I only like smart girls. However, there are grammatical principles, in English and Korean, that allow us to create more than one clause. Each clause is able to have a subject, object and also a verb adjective. Creating a sentence with more than one clause could therefore have more than one subject, object or verb adjective. For example, when I go home, my mom will be waiting for me. When my mother ate a hot dog, I ate a hamburger before I ate. I want to wash my hands after I saw the movie. My friend called me. I don't want to meet him because he isn't nice. The grammatical rules of a Korean sentence with two or more clauses are similar those with only one clause. However, when a sentence has two or more clauses, the particle
는
cannot be placed on the subject of both clauses. Instead, it can only be attached to the subject of the main clause of the sentence. The main clause of a sentence is the clause that is expressing the main idea of the sentence. One way to find the non-main clause, referred to as the subclause for the remainder of this lesson, is by looking for the part of the sentence that tells us when, where, why, how the main idea is happening. For example, when I go home, my mom will be waiting for me. Main clause, my mom will be waiting for me. When will this happen? When I go home. When my mother ate a hot dog, I ate a hamburger. Main clause, I ate a hamburger. When will this happen? When my mother ate a hot dog. Before I eat, I want to wash my hands. Main clause, I want to wash my hands. When did this happen? Before I eat. After I saw the movie, my friend called me. Main clause, my friend called me. When will this happen? After I saw the movie. I don't want to meet him because he isn't nice. Main clause, I don't want to meet him. Why does this happen? Because he isn't nice. Notice that if you eliminate the subclause, the main clause still makes sense. However, if you eliminate the main clause, you are left with an incomplete sentence. Let's go back to
기 전에
and see how these rules apply. In the following sentence, before my mom came, I ate rice. Which clause is the main clause? Which clause is the subclause? I ate rice is the main idea of the sentence. It is a perfect sentence by itself. Before my mom came describes when the action in the main clause takes place. It is also an incomplete sentence by itself. Therefore, this sentence in Korean can be written as
엄마가 오기 전에 나는 밥을 먹었어.
Before my mom came, I ate rice. I am going to talk about how the particles
는
and
이가
can be used in these sentences. I'm going to separate this discussion with a line before and after it in an attempt to organize it a little bit, comma. Notice that
는
is attached to the subject of the main clause of the sentence. The reverse would be incorrect. For example,
엄마는 오기 전에 내가 밥을 먹었어. incorrect.
placing
는
on both subjects would also be incorrect.
엄마는 오기 전에 나는 밥을 먹었어. incorrect.
However, placing
이가
on both subjects is acceptable. That is, it is not necessary to place
는
on the subject of the main clause of the sentence, just like how, as you learned in lesson 2, it is not necessary to place
는
on the subject of the following sentence.
고양이가 집 뒤에 있어요.
The cat is behind the house. Placing
는
on the subject of the main clause of a multi-clause sentence has the same effect of adding
는
to the subject of a sentence with one clause. That is, it could indicate that something is being compared with something else. It could also have the exact same meaning as a sentence with
이가
used as the subject particles. In both situations, the context is the only thing that can determine if there is a subtle difference in meaning. For example,
친구가 오기 전에 저는 은행에 갔어요.
before my friend came, I went to the bank. Or,
친구가 오기 전에 제가 은행에 갔어요.
before my friend came, I went to the bank. There could be a difference between these two sentences. If the context allowed for it, the feeling is that I is being compared to another noun. For example, before your friend came, maybe, Your girlfriend stayed home but I went to the bank. Sometimes, the use of
는
as the subject particle creates a different translation in English, although the end result of the sentence is the same. Notice the difference between the following possible English translations.
친구가 오기 전에 저는 은행에 갔어요.
Before my friend came, I was the person who went to the bank, compared to my girlfriend who stayed home.
친구가 오기 전에 제가 은행에 갔어요.
Before my friend came, I went to the bank. If you are unsure of this distinction between
는
and,
이가
I encourage you to reread the distinction made in Lesson 2 and Lesson 22, almost all of the time, when you are making the subclause to go before.
전에 물결이 가
Will be attached to the subject of that clause. The only time this isn't the case is when the subject of both clauses is the same. In these cases, it is acceptable to place
는
on the subject of the first clause, and eliminate it from the second clause. For example,
나는 오기 전에 밥을 먹었어.
before I came, I ate instead of.
내가 오기 전에 나는 밥을 먹었어.
Before I came, I ate. Remember that Korean people love shortening their sentences. Every chance they get, they want to eliminate something from their sentences. So, instead of saying,
내가, 나는,
you only need to say I once, comma. Also notice that, like a lot of things in Korean, no indication of tense is made before.
기 전에,
Instead, the tense is determined by the conjugation of the main clause.
엄마가 오기 전에 나는 먹었어.
Before mom came, I ate.
엄마가 오기 전에 나는 먹을 거야.
Before mom comes, I will eat. Many more examples of.
기 전에, 한국에 오기 전에 저는 한국어를 배웠어요.
I learned Korean before I came to Korea.
수박을 먹기 전에 사과를 먹었어요.
Before I ate a watermelon, I ate an apple.
양복을 입기 전에 목욕을 했어요.
Before putting on the suit, I took a bath.
구름이 걷히기 전에 비가 왔어요.
Before the clouds cleared, it rained.
집에서 나가기 전에 방을 치웠어요.
Before leaving the house, I cleaned my room.
제가 아내와 결혼하기 전에 우리는 2년 동안 사귀었어요.
Before marrying my wife, we went out dated for 2 years. Full stop. Full stop. After later.
후,
The word
후,
translates to after or later from now depending on how it is used in Korean sentences. When placed after any indication of time, 2 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 hours, 4 days, 3 weeks, 2 years, etc., it has the meaning of later from now. For example, 2
초 후에 2,
seconds later from now, 5
분 후에 5,
minutes later from now,
10시간 후에 10,
hours later from now, 4
일 후에 4,
days later from now, 3
주 후에 3,
weeks later from now, 2
년 후에 2.
years later from now. I typically write the word instead of the numeral when referring to an hour. To see why, check out lesson 10 and 11. You can use these sentences intuitively just like sentences with.
전,
For example,
2시간 후에 갈 거예요.
I will go 2 hours from now.
수업은 2분 후에 끝날 거예요.
Class will finish 2 minutes from now. When
후,
is placed after a verb. It has the meaning of after. You learned earlier in this lesson that you must add
기,
to the stem of a verb to make.
기 전에,
When using
후,
after a verb, you do not add
기,
to the stem of the word. Instead, you must add
는,
to the stem of the verb.
은,
Gets added to a stem where the final syllable ends in a consonant.
니은,
Gets added directly to stems ending in a vowel. For example,
내가 먹은 후에,
after I eat,
내가 간 후에,
after I go. These can now go into sentences like,
기 전에, 숙제가 끝난 후에 나는 집에 갈 거예요.
after my homework is finished, I will go home.
밥을 먹은 후에 친구를 만났어요.
After I ate, I met a friend.
과자를 많이 먹은 후에 배가 아팠어요.
After eating a lot of candy snacks, my stomach was sore.
구두를 신은 후에 의자에서 일어났어요.
After putting on my boots, I got up from the chair.
방을 치운 후에 밖에 나갔어요.
After cleaning up my room, I went outside. It is also possible to substitute the word
다음,
which you learned about in lesson 11 for
후.
to create the same meaning. For example,
숙제가 끝난 다음에 나는 집에 갈 거예요.
after my homework is finished, I will go home.
밥을 먹은 다음에 친구를 만났어요.
After I ate, I met a friend.
과자를 많이 먹은 다음에 배가 아팠어요.
After eating a lot of candy snacks, my stomach was sore.
구두를 신은 다음에 의자에서 일어났어요.
After putting on my boots, I got up from the chair.
방을 치운 다음에 밖에 나갔어요.
After cleaning up my room, I went outside. You can see in the vocabulary list that there are also these words.
직전,
Just before,
직후,
right after. These two can be used just like
전,
and,
후,
respectively, the difference being that the addition of
직,
emphasizes that something was done immediately before or after the action or indication of time. For example,
아들이 저녁 먹기 직전에 과자를 먹었어요.
right before having dinner, he, the son, ate candy snacks.
경찰관이 오기 직전에 그 사람이 갔어요.
That person left right before the police came.
양복을 입은 직후에 밖에 나갔어요.
Right after I put on the suit, I went outside.
전화번호를 받은 직후에 잃어버렸어요.
Right after I got his phone number, I lost it. One quick thing. In a lot of the example sentences above, I placed the
기 전에,
or
는 후에,
clauses before the main clause of the sentence. It is important to recognize something here. What we are essentially doing is creating a unit that gives us an indication of time. For example,
친구가 오기 전에 저는 은행에 갔어요.
before my friend came, I went to the bank. Left double quotation mark.
친구가 오기 전에,
Can just be seen as one unit that can be placed elsewhere in a sentence, just like other adverbs that give us an indication of time. For example,
저는
at some time.
은행에 갔어요.
I went to the bank, at some time.
저는 어제 은행에 갔어요.
I went to the bank, yesterday.
저는 친구가 오기 전에 은행에 갔어요.
I went to the bank, before my friend came. Therefore, although I often place this indication of time before the clause, it doesn't always need to be there, and it is the discretion of the speaker that will decide exactly where to place it. Being able to create a single unit from a clause like this is a quick introduction to what you will begin learning in Lesson 26, where you will be able to manipulate entire clauses to describe nouns in the middle of sentences. Since.
는 이래로,
The word since in Korean
이래로,
can be used in place of
후,
in
는 후에,
to have the meaning of since I, colon.
한국에 온 이래로 한국어를 배우고 있어요.
Since coming to Korea, I have been learning Korean.
열심히 공부한 이래로 실력은 빨리 늘었어요.
Since studying hard, my skills have been quickly increasing. Those two sentences are perfectly correct, but you should know that Korean people rarely use the word.
이래로,
You can use it, and everybody will understand what you mean. They will probably be impressed because
이래로,
is a difficult word. Instead, it is more common for Korean people to use
는 후에,
to have the meaning of since. For example,
한국에 온 이래로 한국어를 배우고 있어요.
is better said like this.
한국에 온 후에 한국어를 배우고 있어요.
After coming to Korea, I have been learning Korean.
열심히 공부한 이래로 실력은 빨리 늘었어요.
Is better said like this.
열심히 공부한 후에 실력은 빨리 늘었어요.
After studying hard, my skills have been quickly increasing, with and inside.
안 이내,
Two other words that you can use in similar situations as
전,
an,
후,
are,
안,
an.
이내,
You already know the word.
안.
Can be used in sentences to mean inside.
나는 집 안에 있다.
I am inside the house. If
안 이내,
are placed after an indication of time, they have the meaning of within the time period. For example,
나는 5년 이내에 외국어 5개를 배우고 싶어.
I want to learn 5 languages within 5 years.
나는 5년 안에 외국어 5개를 배우고 싶어.
I want to learn 5 languages within 5 years.
우리는 1년 이내 결혼할 거예요.
We will get married within 1 year.
우리는 1년 안에 결혼할 거예요.
We will get married within 1 year. This was a bit of an easy lesson as well. This lesson and the one before it were pretty easy, but don't worry, you are almost at Unit 2, and the lessons in that unit will be really hard. For more info, please visit howtostudykorean.com.